order to comprehend this theory, one must understand the true meaning encoded into the Epitaph of Twilight poem. Wise men knew a lot more than we at Project GU.
Which phase is that one?
What the
There
hell?
was four,
It's a
but
mask
what
this
was
time.
that one's name?
Launching program. Audio and visual communication from this end will now cease functioning. White noise on the screen will signal the start of battle. Good luck.
Ready.
With help from Wiseman and Helba, Kite defeated the fourth phase, Fidhel.
Chill. Yeah.
He also obtained the second aura segment. However, Leos, who was concerned about the spread of the virus, decided to destroy the world servers.
Yeah, and then Leos was like, you know what? If we can't stop them, we're gonna just shut it down.
Kite descended into the dungeon and was reunited with Aura. However, before that, Kubia appeared for a third battle with Kite.
Yeah, and Kubia keeps reappearing. I remember that much.
Damaged data.
What's this?
I think she wants to say something.
Huh? What is it? Something like that exists?
It's that thing again!
It's big. Too big. Can we defeat it?
Was this when they learned about Kubia's true identity, or was it the next fight?
Growing.
No, because they're not supposed
As
to
if
learn about that until
responding to the call
quarantine.
of the bracelet, Kubia's strength grew enormous. Kite must have felt terrible, having upset the very balance of the world.
Yeah, because I think every
Or
phase they beat, the
perhaps his
bracelet
mental
got
state
stronger.
was like mine. Perhaps like me, he decided to try and act heroically, using the power at his command to set the world back on the correct path.
Because I think Kubia was the only enemy that couldn't be
After a long
couldn't
and
be
difficult second
affected by the
battle,
data drain.
Kite defeated Kubia and made peace between
And
the
so-
hacker Helba and the admin Leos. When we learned that, for this battle anyway, we were on the same
That's bad.
side as a detested hacker.
But
My teammates and I couldn't hide our surprise. Just as the Epitaph of Twilight foretold, the King of Light and the Queen of the Dark were to fight on the same side. And that was how, through the Morgana incident, we were able to
How did
achieve
the
the single
poem
most
go?
important
Was,
factor in our research at Project GU. The liberation
the
of
Dragon
Sora,
of the Lake
one of the
came
6 coma victims.
after the 8 spirits rampaged or something like that. And the war forced the King of the Light, which is Leos, and the Queen of the Dark, which was Helba, to join forces and fight back, or something like that. There was a lot in that poem that was fucking dictated in a way that basically just played out this whole game.
Skates. Wand? Huh?
I don't remember this cutscene.
Thank you?
Cause that was Sora. That was Haseo's previous character. I don't remember that cutscene.
Skaith had done it. Skaith, one of the 8 phases, had merged with the spirit of the player who played as Sora. The
Oh.
player Sora had been imprisoned inside the network within Skate's
Fuck.
staff.
Alright, that's not gonna make much
Sora
sense
was a rare and
at the
unique sample
moment.
case.
But when we get to that, I'll talk about that too.
Government pressure.
That's
CC Corporation's very own cover-up.
Huh.
Even as the damage to the real world continued to grow, Kite and his friends began Operation Breakwater in an attempt to put a stop to the incursion by Morgana's 8 phases.
The area Sigma, chatting snaring twins, is now quarantined. Communication will be offline.
Ready.
And then game pretty much just has you hunt down the rest of the phases. There's no real like plot. In Dot Hack Sign, Skeet appears at the very end of the series, and Sora is the first victim Skeet strikes down. So Sora goes into a coma. He's in a coma the entirety of this game of the infection,
Who designs these freaky
mutation,
things
outbreak, and
anyway?
quarantine. And I don't remember that cutscene that was just shown,
After defeating
but
the
yeah,
fifth phase
the
Goron,
spirit
Kite
of
received
the
a
player that
transmission
was
from
Sora
Elba.
fused with
At
Skeet.
last, the source of the cursed wave had been discovered.
Skeet.
It was the self-aware
And so-
program, Morgana.
When at the end of quarantine, when
Guilty
they finished the
universe.
fight and
Harold
freed all the lost
Hewitt's
ones,
world of corrupted
Sora went
love
back to
and
normal,
dreams.
but Skeet was still fused with him. From I guess how that was explained. There's more to that actually, and that'll come later. But yeah, the story for Sora is the kid. I forget his fucking name. It's like Hikechi or it's something. He forgets that he played the world due to all of that nonsense. Yeah, some of it just gets kind of stupid. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty dumb. Like, it gets really complicated for no reason. The long story is
Morgana,
that,
the
long story
basic
short,
system that
is
controls the world, was imbued
the
with an artificial
the
personality.
kid that played the character
Her creator,
Sora
Harold,
did
had
indeed
bestowed
play the
upon her
game The World
role of
beforehand,
mother to the ultimate AI, Aura,
but when he
she
came
rejected
back
it.
from
Instead,
being
in
a
order
lost
to
one,
preserve
he had lost
herself,
his memories of the world.
She chose to imprison Harold within
And
the
so,
network.
when he starts up the
Immediately
game in
after
GU
Aura
as
was
Haseo,
born, Morgana decided
to him
to
it's his
delete
first
her.
time playing the game.
When they learned this, Kite and his friends set out for their final challenge to resurrect Aura.
Oh, it's you. The barriers have been lifted. They're all gone. We can go back and forth freely now. Isn't that wonderful? Tell me, do you happen to know where Elk is? I don't remember. My memory these days is fuzzy. So,
Yeah, that's one of
who
the
are
bad
you?
things about it, unfortunately. Like, I love the deep-rooted lore that it brings up, but there's some parts in it that just get kind of dumb. GU was the one that threw a wrench in the socket,
You're Mia, of
and
course.
so a lot of people didn't love it. A lot of the original fans didn't love it as much, even though graphically it was
It's
way
true.
better.
I only exist in the world.
And so,
The only memory I have is
me personally, I like the originals better too, but GU has some really good stuff in it.
No! Stop it! Mia! I want to stay as me!
The true identity of Mia, the cat-like character, was actually a wandering AI program.
Yeah,
The
and
sixth
then
phase, Maha.
reason Mia was like, yeah, Mia was one of the faces of Morgana. That's the reason why she was able to have the cat character. She herself was not native to the game's rule set.
It's unclear why the sixth phase was the only one to take the form of an NPC. This was yet another important sample case for Project GU to consider. Was it possible to establish a character with the Morgana factor and put the powers of the 8 phases of the Epitaph under a player's control? Mahal, the 6th phase, was destroyed, thus causing Mia to be erased as well. Elk, the Wave Master, had lost an irreplaceable companion. He mourned her deeply.
Yeah, and he wasn't exactly useful in that fight either. I kinda hated the fact that I had to fight with him. I don't personally care for Elk. I don't remember if Elk continues to the end of the game.
Oh, Elk.
But because of this, like he was like the guy said, he lost the friend that he was dedicated to, and he was literally broken. Like he was a sad sack of shit. For good reasons. But at the same time, I personally did not really care for Elk. He was one of those characters. He was one of those characters that they made you focus on that I just did not really care about. Like the scene with Mia was yeah, that was sad. That was a sad scene. Like I personally liked Mia. She was pretty cool, but I did not like Elk at all. I could have did without Elk being in these scenes, and it probably would have worked a little better for me.
Now their quest had reached the point of no return. After collecting all her segments, Kite received Aura's help
newcomer.
and was able to destroy the 7th phase,
Watching
Tarvos.
through the 4 videos. This is the last one, and then I'm gonna go back to playing the game. Probably gonna be playing for a little while because I'm
in
tired,
order
but
to
I want to
cover
keep
up the
going.
unfortunate fact that several gamers had collapsed into a coma
And
while
if you're
playing the
interested in
world,
hearing more lore dumping and me talking over
CC Corp
cutscenes,
planned to
I will
destroy
be
their
playing more of this
servers.
tomorrow. That's for fucking
so
sure.
to Kite and the others, their greatest enemy may very well have been the greedy, power-hungry humans in charge of the company. If they succeeded, and the world's servers were destroyed, Kite and his friends would never be able to revive the coma patients.
Yeah, that was the one thing that
Only 2 enemies remained. Kubia
that was one of the things that I did like about how they did that.
How would he fight the 2 of them?
They could, because they were in a coma, they could only be saved through the world.
Kite finally met
And if they shut the servers down,
area of a dungeon.
it wasn't like they actively killed them. They were still alive. They would just never awaken from their coma.
Aura.
It wasn't like the Sword Art thing where they would just up and die. It was, they could literally only be saved within the world, and without that access, they couldn't do anything about it. Is that Korbanik? No, that's an actual epitaph. I think that was the original Epitaph of Twilight clone?
there? Who are you?
Or was that supposed to be Harold?
This
Yeah,
This is
it's
Harold?
Harold. You like lore dumps or something.
Harold.
What? Hey, you're nothing but a piece of rock! You're responsible for the cursed wave, aren't you? Alright then, fix this thing!
No. The passage of time is irreversible. Birth or death. Now only these 2 choices remain.
What? What are you saying?
This is when they learn about the true identity of Kubia.
Aura, the child of light. Emma's daughter. My daughter.